guys, welcome to another WoW Weekly with Myst. Hope everyone is doing good this week. And there's actually not much going on this week as far as weekly events goes, but we do have the Burning Crusade pre-patch for Classic WoW, so it's a great week to not have much going on. So over in retail, we will have the Pet Battle Weekly. Pet Battles is a good time to level, but if you are a person that wants to go over to Classic WoW and play the Burning Crusade, it is one of those events that can be easily skipped. So if you are not a Classic person, then Pet Battles, it's faster leveling, so it is good for that. It's definitely a week to level your pets if you don't want to do the pre-patch. As for my goals, you're watching it right now. So my one and only goal last week was to finally get this rogue to level 60, and I did it. The rogue is level 60 now. She is in Venthyr. Haven't really done much with the Venthyr campaign, which is, you know, just on par with the rest of my alts, because a lot of them I get them to 60, get them into the Covenant, and then I lose all motivation because there's so much work that has to be done on all my characters. I need 14 characters doing Covenant stuff just so I can get all the transmogs, and just thinking about that like lowers the motivation for it. So, but she is set up, and you know, she's capable of doing the oddball thing here and there now. A lot of the alts, they're just kind of waiting. Like in 9.1, the Covenant, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be good. It's never gonna be good. We're gonna dread the Covenant stuff till Shadowlands is over, but it will be slightly better in 9.1. So I've been thinking of just holding it off. Obviously, my main doesn't really hold it off because that's the main character. You can't just stop progression and wait for when things are better, you know, or else you get nowhere, right? But the alts for sure can. They're not the main characters, so they're not getting behind in progression due to stopping a grind, right? So that is what went on for this week. So great week. I got the goal completed. As for this next week's goals, there's really not going to be much goals. All I really want to do is play some Classic. Honestly, Burning Crusade was and still is my favorite expansion. I started playing WoW in vanilla, as many of you guys know, and BC is kind of what like kept me in there. BC was just the most amazing expansion. I love it, and yeah. However, I can't remember how fast you level in it. I know it's faster than vanilla, but it's just been so many years, right? Like it's literally been roughly 14 years or something since I played BC. And back then, myself and many others played the game to play the game, right? Nowadays, everyone wants to rush through content, and that's not how it was back then. When I played both vanilla and BC, you know, there was no rush to level. You went at your own pace, and yeah. And I still do that till this day, but I do that in a community of people who rush through content. However, I would suggest doing it that way if you aren't in a rush. If you don't rush the content and you're not like trying to be the first to be 70 or whatever, you will find so much more enjoyment in the game. It is so much better when you have time to consume what the game is giving you. And one thing I'd like to mention just before I swap the video footage and we swap it to classic footage is that I'd just like to say that this is not my rogue's transmog. Ever since the last patch released, I cannot re-transmog my rogue. She's literally wearing everything she's looted since that patch came out. She will not transmog. I click it, it doesn't take the money, and yeah, it doesn't transmog. And it's only my rogue. Everything's working fine on my other characters, but for some reason, my rogue all of a sudden can't be transmogged ever. And I've swapped it out. I've like, cause that's a safe set, so I've like checked it out and, you know, just by throwing random pieces together, and nothing will accept on her. So yeah, it's super weird. I hope 9.1 fixes that. Yeah, it's very weird, and I miss my rogue's transmog. So you guys will have to let me know if you have any characters that are kind of like that, you know. Luckily, my main is not like that. I would be so upset if my druid couldn't retransmog. And as sad as this is going to sound, it probably would cause me to not play until they fixed it. Because I don't think I could run around with my druid in some ugly piece of shit transmog, you know. So on to news. For news, I would say a good 80% of it is Classic WoW and 20% Shadowlands. So definitely a Classic WoW TBC focused video this week. So starting with the Classic WoW news. Okay, so for the first bit of news, you guys may have noticed that on the 14th, which was this past Friday, they closed the auction house on the Classic servers. Now, this is just temporary, of course. So, those will reopen up tomorrow when the pre-patch launches. So just gotta deal with it one more day, and then we will have access to the auction house over on WoW Classic again. Also, once the pre-patch is out, they will be reopening the Classic character transfers as well, and they've mentioned that the maximum transfer gold amount is 5,000 gold. As for the clone cost, in last week's video, I told you guys it was $35 because that is what it was. And Blizzard caved, so good for that. And so they lowered it to $15. A part of me is kind of wondering if that was the plan the whole time and they just did this so that they could look better in the community. You know, look like the company that listens, you know? So I'm not totally sure that this was all in good spirits, but it is $15, so that is, no matter what the intention was, that does still equal cheaper than $35. So definitely cheaper if you are planning to do that clone. And if you're unfamiliar with the clone, it's basically a way where you can keep playing the other version of WoW, because TBC is going to be divided, so there'll be like, you know, the Classic WoW servers, you know, 1 to 60, and then there'll be Classic WoW TBC 1 to 70. So if you have, say, a level 60 druid on, you know, a server right now, you can clone that druid and have that level 60 druid over on the TBC servers. On the topic of servers, they have announced that there will be some upcoming realm connections that will happen tomorrow. And here is a list of all the servers that will be connected. Figured it would be, you know, easier just to screenshot it than to shout out every single server. So feel free to pause, look at that server list. Also, once the pre-patch goes live, all mail that is sent to your alts will be instant. As for guild banks on TBC, they have announced that there will not be any guild banks, but they are planning on releasing a future patch that will bring guild banks into the picture. So we won't have it at launch, but we will have it sometime in the BC expansion on Classic WoW. So for PvP news, Arena Season 1 will be coming, but it will be a few weeks after the BC launch. So we're definitely looking at like end June, because the BC launch is not the BC pre-patch, right? So they are talking a few weeks after January 1st. So definitely looking at a good month before we see that. Okay, so also PvP honor gear. In the pre-patch of TBC, you will be able to purchase some PvP honor gear. So Classic's PvP gear originally unlocks through the ranking system, and so it will now be available for purchase with honor points and battleground marks. So anytime you kill an enemy, you'll be awarded honor points. The honor cap for players is 75,000. The battle mark cap used to be 20, but they changed it to 100 for the pre-patch for Burning Crusade. Alliance PvP vendors are in Stormwind, and Horde PvP vendors are in Orgrimmar. Okay, so that covers the classic WoW news this week. Let's hop over to the couple of pieces of retail news I have. So the first one is Torghast. Torghast is now going to be dropping some Season 2 conduit upgrades and socket items in patch 9.1. So last week I had mentioned one item in particular that allowed you to have a 233 piece, but you could only wear one of them. This week we are going to talk about the alt catch-up system that you can have a bunch of different pieces for. Okay, so this right here is the item. You will get it in the Maw. You buy it with Stygia. It will cost 1,000 Stygia, and it turns it into a 200 item level piece. It's good for alts, you know, because 200 honestly is low item level. So it's definitely an alt catch-up thing, but it is good. And honestly, before you start saying, oh, 1,000 Stygia, 1,000 Stygia is pretty simple to get your hands on. You can easily get 1,000 Stygia just by going out and killing stuff. Better chances if you just do the dailies, but the dailies are technically weekly, so you'd be kind of capped for a bit there. But Stygia is, you know, there's not like a stop to it. You know, you can just farm Stygia if need be. Would that be fun? Hell no, but you could do it. Now, one thing I would like to mention that I noticed while looking at that icon is if you look at it, you will see that it is an RNG box. So this is more similar to, for those that played Legion, when Argus came out, there was kind of an RNG box that you could get over there. It's more like that one. So yeah, don't compare it to, say, Nashtar, because Nashtar, you could choose what slot you wanted to buy your item for. This box is RNG, so anything can come out of it, which means you could get multiples. But I will say this, to give you guys some hopes here, that I remember this kind of RNG box with Argus, and it came to the point where I was just throwing that currency at that box because there was nowhere else to throw the currency, and I was gaining so much of it. And so, being a disenchanter, I was just buying random pieces afterwards and disenchanting them just to get rid of the currency. So that might actually be an outcome with this. It might be the same deal. Because, you know, to be honest, Stygia doesn't have a whole lot of currency. And another thing to keep note, however, not confirmed, this is just me pondering things, but we've been told that the currency's changing in 9.1, right? So realistically, if we're buying it with Stygia, we're buying it with currency that might still exist in the game, but probably isn't used for anything else. Probably has nothing to purchase with other than maybe these catch-up pieces. Now, like I said, don't quote me. We don't know what Stygia means in 9.1. All we know is that they told us there would be a new currency. So yeah, that's one thing to ponder. Another thing I'd like to add is, for those of you that are transmog farmers, when we had these RNG boxes in Argus, I got so many transmogs out of them. So this may be a currency you want to keep grinding out if you're a transmog farmer, because it probably will entail, I would say, a good 20 transmogs. Just a rough estimate there, but I would say a good 20 transmogs at least are probably sitting in these RNG boxes. And as a transmog farmer myself, those are the easy ones. Those are the ones you want to do. Transmogs can be a little pretty RNG, and while this is an RNG box, it takes pretty much none of your time. You're just like, paying for it, really, right? You don't have to go farm some long-ass raid to get a transmog piece, so it's definitely worth doing. So even if you don't have alts that need the 200, but you're a transmog farmer, yeah, I would still go after it. Okay, so next up, this is a non-gaming project I've been working on for a while for all of us. I just recently swapped hosting, so I had to kind of redo everything. Basically, April, I had put together the website, and it was looking all good, and I was ready to announce it to you guys last week. And then I decided that I was going to add a couple of things, and then last minute, I decided to change providers. Changed providers literally a couple of days ago, and I just tried to get it as up to par as possible so I could tell you guys about it. So there's still some work that needs to be done, but I do think it is good enough for you guys to start visiting it if you want. It is, a website all about me, more or less, but I want it to be a community space. So we have a forum over there that I'm hoping people will want to join and, contribute to and, share maybe some WoW pictures or pet pictures, or, maybe you're on a health kick and you want to share what you're eating, stuff like that. It can be anything within reason, of course. I have my characters linked on there, so you can definitely check that out if you want as well. There is also the WoW news section, which at the moment, it's just kind of like a brief little explanation of this week in WoW and then next week in WoW. So if you want to, see what's going on, that week and the following week, you can. That's pretty much what that page is going to be dedicated to. The blog is, right now it's a WoW thing, but then after, like, it's a WoW blog post, but after that, I put on the forum there. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to delete that WoW blog post, and because it, if it's better in a forum, and we'll dedicate blog posts more to myself, things I'm doing, maybe some guides if I choose to put that up later. Groups is kind of like one big chat room, so anyone in that group can talk to each other. I was thinking of maybe making some mythic group pages, maybe some raiding group pages, and then you guys can kind of, join the ones you want, meet some fellow raiders, fellow mythic runners, and, have some more people to do stuff in the game with. Also, for those of you that don't play WoW but still follow me, which is awesome. You guys are awesome that, literally follow me for me. But if you're interested in some other stuff, some random games, let me know. I'll make a group page. For now, I'll probably just make a group that's like random games. And if you want to join it, you can join it. And then the event page right now is the Burning Crusade official launch countdown timer. And then I also at the bottom have a few things which you see that it's showing pre-patch, it's showing official launch, and it's also showing the Shadowlands patch, which as you can see has a to be determined on it. So there is no date on it. So yeah, and that is basically it. There's other things you can do, so definitely check out the website. Sign up to it. Signing up will allow you to take part in the forum and all that. As you can see, there's a little notification thing there. It says to. Yeah, that's, you just click that to see what's been going on. You will want to go into your notification settings. Pretty much everything's enabled by default, so you will want to change that. Notifications go to the emails, so yeah, if you don't want to be annoyed by constant emails, you may want to go into notifications and just fiddle around with what you want to be alerted on. As you can see, there is a member chat as well. I'm really liking the member chat. It's like it's kind of like a live chat room, and you click on it and you'll see the people that are online. Another reason to, join. And you can either talk one-on-one with someone, or you can open up a group chat and have multiple people in your chat. So yeah, that is what I've been working on. I hope to see some of you guys join us over there. There's a couple of us there right now, and yeah, I'm really excited about the new website. Not the first one I've built. I've built quite a few in the past, but this one I really like. Yeah, I do really like it. I've been redesigning it here and there. All these pages were white, when I started, so pretty much everything with color is me, modifying it. So that is what I've been working on this month. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. I built it for us. So there is nothing behind a paywall. This is free to join, and you can just become part of the community a little more and make some new friends. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy the new website. And if there's anything missing that you think would be cool for the website, let me know. I built this for us, so whatever you guys think is missing, just let me know and we will add it. Okay, so for this week's question, Arsenal asks, what's your favorite battle pet to use in battle? what's your favorite pet in general? Mine is Baby Winston. Okay, so my favorite pet to use in battle would be the Iron Starlet. It was definitely a toss-up between Starlet and Icky, but overall, the Iron Starlet can solo so many fights. It is unbelievable. However, Icky is also a very good choice as well. What's your favorite pet in general? My favorite pet in general is by far Whomper. I love Whomper. You guys have seen the plush I have when I show the cam on stream, and yeah, I think Whomper is awesome, and he's actually not a bad battle pet, because sometimes you get the wrong end of the stick when you get pets from the store, because pets from the store are typically there for show and they're not very good in battle. But Whomper is pretty good. Yeah, I do think Whomper does a really good job in battle. He's won quite a few of my battles due to his freezing spells. And yeah, there's lots though. My all-time favorite team consists of Whomper. Winston is also in my favorite team. And the Crow, which I have a video on the channel. The Crow is a extremely rare pet that's found out in Dark Moon. I'll link the video at the end of this one in case anyone wants to go try to farm that one when Dark Moon rolls back around. But yeah, those three are my favorite team because they complement each other for the most part. Great question for it being Pet Battle Week, so kudos. And speaking of it being Pet Battle Week, I've been holding off on some pet battles because, I'd like to try to space the videos out so you're not getting a bunch of the same category of stuff consistently. So we are going to go back to some pet battle videos since it is Pet Battle Week. So I hope you enjoy all the videos that will be on the channel this week regarding that. And that concludes this week's WoW Weekly. So I hope you have fun. I imagine most of you guys are going to be playing the Burning Crusade expansion over in Classic WoW. So I hope you have a blast playing that and playing your characters. Like I said, I probably will be streaming it. So, if you need some leveling company, come by the stream and we will shoot the shit and level some characters. And that's all I got. So have a great one, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.